What separates the average from the exceptional? What makes one person stop while another breaks through every limit? In today's video, we're going deep into the mindset, the pain, and the purpose that forges warriors, fighters, and high performers. If you're tired of excuses, if you're done being told to play small, if you're ready to dominate your domain, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss content that challenges you to grow. Let's get into it, because you are the exception. Section 1. The weight of the path. Chosen. There comes a time in every serious individual's journey when they must confront the full gravity of their chosen path. Not in theory, not as a motivational quote, but in the quiet, soul-deep moments when everything is stripped bare, when hardship, loss, and sacrifice come knocking without warning. In those moments, you begin to realize that the life you've committed to is not governed by the simple laws of reward and punishment. It's not about fairness or justice or some cosmic scale balancing right and wrong. It's about responsibility. The responsibility you took on the moment you decided to walk the path less chosen, the path of the warrior, the builder, the seeker. Like those who came before you, you carry a legacy of sacrifice not for glory, but for meaning. Great men and women, real high performers, don't measure their worth by accolades or applause. Kobe Bryant once said, "The most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they want to do." That's the mission. That's the calling. And those who answer that call must understand that the price of such greatness is often paid in silence, in private battles, in the discipline to keep moving forward even when nothing makes sense. We don't live to avoid pain. We live to honor those who've fallen by refusing to let their efforts go in vain. To keep building, to keep climbing, to keep fighting. Not because we have to, but because we must. When people talk about finding meaning in loss, they often miss the mark. The truth is, some things cannot be understood. They're not puzzles to be solved, but fires to be endured. And sometimes, in the search for reason, we tarnish what was once sacred. Not every tragedy needs to be explained. Some simply need to be carried with reverence. In those moments, your job is not to philosophize, it's to hold the line, to walk forward with your head high, even if your heart is broken. That's what it means to live with honor. That's what it means to carry the weight of legacy. You don't have to know your purpose today. You don't need to have all the answers. But what you can't do is stop until you find that clarity, until your reason becomes undeniable. Your only mission is motion. Consistent, defiant motion. That's the unspoken code of those who pursue excellence. We don't get to stop when it hurts. We don't get to retreat when it's unclear. The moment we chose this life, the life of growth, of discipline, of impact, we accepted that burden. And as long as we breathe, we carry it. Section 2. The price of commitment. There's a certain kind of fire that only comes from investment, not just of time, but of soul. You know it if you've been there. The long nights where your body begs for rest, the missed parties, the silence in rooms full of noise because your focus is elsewhere, sharpened on a goal most wouldn't dare pursue. That kind of investment creates something sacred. It's not just about skill or routine anymore. It becomes identity. And when something fuses that deeply with who you are, quitting isn't a choice. It's betrayal. You don't abandon what you've bled for. You don't walk away from the altar of your own sacrifice. Most people can quit because they never really started. They dipped their toes in, flirted with discipline, entertained the idea of greatness, but never made the real commitment. That's why they're comfortable quitting. That's why their fallback plan was always their main plan. But not you. No, you're different. You've built something that costs more than time. It cost you pieces of yourself. And that cost demands honor. Steph Curry once said, "Success is not an accident. Success is actually a choice." And the exceptional, the real elite, they made that choice every single day when no one was watching. When you've trained until your muscles scream and your mind frays, when you've delayed gratification over and over in the name of mastery, something changes inside you. You become bonded to the mission, not by words or motivation, but by pain, by repetition, by relentless discipline. That's the bond average people will never understand. They think you're obsessed. They say you're intense. But they don't know what it feels like to be consumed by something you were born to do. They don't understand that you can't walk away because leaving would mean tearing out a part of yourself. Excuses are the language of the average. Circumstance is their shield. They run at the first sign of resistance. But the exception? The exception leans in because they know something most don't. Every battle is a forge. Every struggle is a door to a better version of you, but only if you step through it. The question is never, will this be hard? It's always, am I willing to grow through this? And if you are, if you've truly given yourself to the work, then you don't back down. Because you understand the truth that separates the elite from the rest. You don't become exceptional by avoiding the fire. You become exceptional by walking through it, again and again. Section 3. The power within the struggle. There are days when everything feels like it's breaking. When the weight gets so heavy, you question why you ever chose this road. You fall, you hurt, you fail. But here's the truth. Most people will never understand. The exceptional don't wait for the stars to align. They don't hope the storm will pass. They build in the storm. They rise in the wreckage. They take everything that went wrong and forge something new. Like a martial artist reversing momentum with a well-timed shift in stance, the elite turn setbacks into strategy. That's the difference. That's what makes you powerful. Not that you avoided the fall, but that you stood back up and made it count. Mastery isn't handed to anyone. It's earned through scars. It's built in the hidden hours when the world isn't watching. And when you finally perfect your craft, when your movements become second nature and your instincts are sharpened by experience, it won't just be skill you've gained. It'll be depth, the kind of deep, grounded appreciation that only comes from pain, from endurance, from choosing growth when retreat was easier. Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Your struggle has carved precision into your every step. Your pain has become your edge. Your defeats, they were the blueprints. This is your advantage. This is your weapon. The average competitor sees failure as a full stop, a reason to walk away. But you've trained your eyes to see differently. Failure to you is just feedback. It's data. It's a signal to adjust, to refine, to evolve. Where most see a locked door, you see a system to decode. Where others slam into walls, you search for cracks. You're not delusional, you're deliberate. That's the mark of those who lead. That's the mindset of champions. The moment you see obstacles as part of the design, not disruptions of it, you take control. That's when you stop reacting and start creating. That's when you stop hoping and start becoming. Cry if you must. Break if you need to. Feel the pain. But when the tears dry and the bruises fade, there's only one thing left to do. Strike. I don't need a monologue. I don't need your reasons. I need your breakthrough. You've already walked away from a normal life. You've already chosen discomfort, isolation, and sacrifice in the name of something bigger. So don't insult your journey by walking away now. If you were going to quit, you should have never stepped into the ring. The exception doesn't come this far just to break at the finish line. That's not who you are. You didn't survive all that for nothing. You don't train like the average. You don't think like the average. So don't act like the average. Not now. Not ever. Section 4. Turn pain into power. Pain is not your enemy. It's your rawest, most untapped source of power. You don't need to suppress it. You don't need to run from it. What you need is to recycle it, to transform it into something that serves you. Just like cursed energy can be shaped, redirected, molded into devastating technique, your pain can become your strength. If you choose to wield it, you're already hurting. You're already carrying weight. So use it. Don't let it weigh you down. Let it launch you forward. Every scar, every letdown, every sleepless night is fuel. And when you finally decide to channel it with intention, that's when you break the threshold. That's when you rise above. The exceptional don't resent their pain. They invest it. You keep stalling, keep overthinking, talking yourself into hesitation. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I'm not ready? But let me tell you something the greats already know. Clarity comes in motion, not in overanalysis. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots and still said, "I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying." The exceptional don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't need a guarantee to take action. They move. They act. They adapt in real time. Doubt is natural, but you don't give it the final word. The longer you sit, the louder your fears get. So silence them with forward momentum. All I need from you today is this. Keep walking toward your goal, step by step, hit by hit, with or without certainty. Out there, in the real world, beyond the comfort of training grounds, things get chaotic. No perfect setup, no rehearsals, just real life, real stakes. And when it hits hard. That's when your character gets tested. That's when you realize if you have heart. The exceptional know that the battle doesn't ask for permission. It demands presence. And whatever is broken inside you, it can be rebuilt. Not by luck, not by chance, but through relentless will and refined energy. Your pain is not a curse. It's a resource. Use it to rebuild. Use it to strike back. This is the battlefield. No excuses. No delays. Just grit. The tides will shift. The plan will fall apart. You might even get hit harder than you expected. But this isn't where you point fingers. This isn't where you fold. This is where you adapt. You sharpen. You evolve. No one is coming to hand you your destiny. You don't get your breakthrough because you want it. You get it because you earned it. So whatever technique is in your arsenal, perfect it. Because the world isn't waiting. Your competition isn't slowing down. And your future? It won't be handed to you. You'll have to fight for it. Your greatness, your black flash, your mastery, it's out there. But it's not free. It never was. So show up, lock in, and go earn it. Section 5. Own the battlefield. Not every curse disappears. Not every wound heals clean. Some battles linger longer than they should. But you are not built to surrender. You are not here to fold under pressure. You are a warrior. And warriors don't ask for easier fights. They become stronger fighters. The exceptional understand that some storms aren't meant to pass. They're meant to be faced. That fear that keeps creeping back in. That doubt that tells you you're not enough. It's not the truth. It's just noise. And you are not here to be ruled by noise. You are here to command your energy, to discipline your mind, and to rise in the middle of chaos. That's the mark of the exceptional. Not immunity to struggle, but mastery over it. The voice in your head that whispers all the reasons to quit, all the fears, all the failures, that voice isn't you. That's a parasite feeding on hesitation, and the only antidote is action. The real you, the powerful you, that's the one who shows up when it hurts. That's the one who trains when no one's looking. That's the one who doesn't need applause or approval to go harder. Every time that negative voice returns, and it will return, you shut it down by doing what average people won't. You execute, you push, you fight. You stop being the victim of your own story and start being the one who rewrites it. Because the exceptional don't fold under curses. They push back harder. The moment you stand in front of that fight, whatever it is for you, and say, "This is mine to win," everything changes. That's when you start to reclaim your power. That's when you stop waiting for the battle to end and start dominating it. That's when life stops happening to you and starts happening through you. Kobe Bryant once said, "Everything negative, pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity for me to rise." That mindset, that's not motivational fluff. That's the edge. That's the difference between the ones who dream and the ones who dominate. And that edge lives in you, but only if you choose to claim it. You were never meant to be controlled by doubt. You were meant to lead it, shape it, overcome it. You are not bound by the limits others set. You're not shaped by circumstances unless you allow them to shape you. From this moment on, you take ownership of your technique, of your growth, of your destiny. The battlefield doesn't define you. You define it, because you're not average. You're not common. You are the exception, and that means you don't wait. You decide, you don't hope, you command. Your story is yours now, and every step forward from here, that's not chance, that's choice. Section 6, it's already done. There comes a point when you stop flinching at adversity, when you look it straight in the eye and say, "You can't break me. I'm too strong. I am the exception." That's the moment the world begins to bend. Many set out on the path, whether it's jiu-jitsu, self-mastery, or greatness, but only a rare few keep climbing when the agony hits, when the grind gets quiet, and when the rewards seem distant. Those who reach the highest level aren't always the fastest, the strongest, or the most talented. They're the ones who keep going, keep pressing, Even with blood in their mouth and fire in their lungs, they refuse to stop. And when they finally crash through that invisible wall, it's no longer effort, it's instinct, it's certainty. That's the breakthrough. When it's no longer a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When doubt becomes dust in your rear view. When every cell in your body aligns with the mission, there's no more hesitation, no more seeking approval. You know, and deep in your bones, that this is your purpose. This is why you're still standing. This is why you've survived what others couldn't. You earn this moment not by shortcuts, but by refusing to be average. You were born to win, but more than that, you were built to endure. The battlefield no longer rattles you, because you no longer question if you belong. You do. You were always meant to be here. You'll know you've crossed the threshold when obstacles stop being obstacles, when the outside noise stops mattering, when the opinions of the mediocre feel like whispers against the roar inside you. That's when it's done. Not because the challenges disappear, but because they no longer define your direction. You no longer ask for easy. You no longer shrink from pressure. You welcome it. Why? Because the fire inside you now burns hotter than anything outside of you. And that's the price. The full investment of spirit, of focus, of belief. When you commit to paying whatever price is required, without complaint, without delay, it's done. This is what separates the exception from the average. Not just in a single moment of inspiration, not just for one fight or one season, but always. This mindset, this standard, becomes who you are. You walk differently. You speak with clarity. You train with purpose. You act with conviction, because you know the truth. This is your time, your story, your legacy, and it's not written in ink, it's carved in effort. So now, there's only one thing left to do. Go prove it.